recording. Okay, you want to read the translations or 726?
Because she hasn't got glasses, I'll read it. Oh
Good.
Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things are yet to come. I also know all living entity, but me, no one knows.
Hmm.
So
So I was just saying to, I was asking Gulshan Prabhu that where else in the Bhagavad Gita does Lord Krishna give a hint about? Actually, there are two aspects in this verse. One is where he's talking about he knows the past, present, and future. And the other one is that he knows all living entities, but no one knows me. But in terms of the past, present, and future, I was asking Gulshan Prabhu, and now I'm asking you also. But he knows the answer, so don't say. Where else in the Bhagavad Gita is this mentioned?
I don't know the Gita so well to be able to say off the top of my head unless I look in the back index.
Okay.
no, you don't need to go that far. Just Abhi Prabhu, he remember all that every shloka,
That is
verse
true.
everywhere.
I know, but he's hiding behind somewhere.
He's the walking Gita.
That's true.
Yeah.
Chalti firti Gita.
So I'll give you a clue. It's in the 4th chapter.
Have no idea. I wouldn't be able to say.
Okay. All right. So if you look at text 5. So
5?
yeah. So chapter 4, text 5.
Yeah.
So there it's saying the personality of Godhead said, many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. O subduer of the enemy. So Krishna, he is, what's the word I used a little while ago? Gulshan Prabhu? The Sanskrit word, what was I saying?
Yeah, it's like a Trikaldarshi.
Yeah,
he can
good,
see
that's
all
good.
three. He can see. Darshi means he can see. So present, past, and future.
Yeah.
He's a Trikaldarshi. It's Anadikal. He was there. He present, and he yet to see. The one hasn't been happened. The future he can see. We can't.
Yeah, very good. So there's another term, Trikalagnya. Trikalagnya. Okay, so the past, present, and future, and the nya is like knowing, knowledge. Okay, so actually it's mentioned also that there are many sages who are Trikalagnya. But how they get that power to see the past, present, and future? So they get that power because they are connected with the absolute Trikalagnya. So people who are, who have a very strong spiritual connection with God, with Krishna, they can actually see the past, they can see the present, they can see the future. So, you have astrologers who read people's charts. They'll be able to tell the past, they'll be able to tell the future. All that is there, right? But nowadays you can't trust all the astrologers also. Because so many people are there just making it as a business. Whereas there are true, these are Brahmanas actually, who are truly connected with Krishna. So they are very pious people. They are very strongly linked in their, prayers and devotional service with Krishna. And because of that power that they are getting from Krishna to be able to do these kind of astrological services or whatever, they can do very well. But the main thing is that they are in connection.
Bhaktimala, I'm in the class. Hare Krishna, I'm in the class. Okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye.
She forgot.
Bhaktimala, she don't know that I'm in the class. So. Anyway.
Yeah. So it is. So what I'm trying to say here is actually even we can get to that stage of Trikalagnya, but the main thing is not to just understand it as a yogic power. Okay, I mean it in a way it is a yogic power, but the yogic power is coming because of the yoga. Yoga means what? Connection.
Connection.
And actually, what is that yoga connection? Connection has to be with God. Only then that is yoga. Otherwise, there is no yoga. I mean, asanas and all are just there, but they're like not really yoga. The purpose of those asanas is to connect with God, isn't it? So I'm not saying here that we have to reach that position to be, knowing the past, present, and future. But the thing is, if we sincerely do our devotional service, then it is possible that we get this yogic power of being able to see. Okay. And in one place, actually, in some purport, Prabhupada actually mentions this also, that for a devotee, they don't need to be, interested in all this past, present, and future business. They just carry on with their services for Krishna, and automatically Krishna gives them the power to be able to see into the future. And one thing, and this, the many purports Prabhupada also talks about. I mean, I'm not as good as Abhay Prabhu, where he can just rattle off which purport from which Bhagavatam verse or whatever, where Prabhupada is saying.
You are Abhay Prabhu's feminine energy. How can you say you're not powerful? Without you,
I'm not saying I'm
Prabhu's
not powerful.
nothing.
I have my own power, but I'm saying I don't have that knowledge like him, where he just will say, "Oh, Srimad Bhagavatam, this shloka, this purport." Prabhupada is saying that I don't know where, but in some of the purports, what Prabhupada is saying is that we have these like this three Kalagnya people, they are the ones who, because they can see into the future, they guide the people, right? So they automatically become like leaders of society. Like in those days, what used to happen? The kings used to have brahmanas who were giving them advice, right? They used to keep the brahmanas as their minister, isn't it? The king would keep a brahmana as the minister. Like for instance, we had Chanakya. Chanakya was a minister, isn't it? Who was that? Chandragupta Maurya or somebody, right?
Chanakya Pandit, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
come.
So Chanakya Pandit he is giving advice to the king.
Yeah.
And what is it? But he's a Brahmana. So the Brahmanas were supposed to be give the advisors, right, for the Kshatriya class. So they are giving advice. Why? Because they automatically can see into the future. But nowadays, what is happening? Nowadays, politicians, they are not taking advice from Brahmanas. They have their own advisors who are
Who are
also
unqualified.
Shudras, who are mental speculators.
And
They have.
Prabhupada says in Kali Yuga, all Shudras.
That's right. So the leaders themselves are Shudras. Okay. So the leaders themselves are Shudras. Their advisors are Shudras. And very few of them probably have any God consciousness. Okay. Even if they have God consciousness, it is not done with the proper understanding of
So 0 multiplied by 0 equal to 0.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say that, only Yeah, I'm not trying to say that only, ISKCON is the only way or something like that. That's not my intention. But what I'm trying to say is if a person sincerely follows God's teachings, then he will have the blessings coming from God where he can give the right advice. Okay. So now what is happening? Everything is driven by money, and therefore, even these so called advisors, whatever advice they're also providing to the leaders is all to carry out their own agenda. Okay. They are just going to see what's in it for me. They are not seeing what's in it for the welfare of everybody. So a true Brahmana is somebody who's going to look at the welfare of everybody. Okay. Even a true Kshatriya, a leader of society, what is their main purpose? The main purpose is that they have to give protection to everybody and be the provide the good welfare for everybody. Okay. Now we have government departments. They are supposed to be providing welfare. What welfare they provide? Hardly anything. Okay. So they just want to keep you in that dependent situation. That is what today's governments are doing. Okay. They are not actually making you independent, and they're surely not taking you out of the cycle of birth and death.
No.
No. So Prabhupada
These
in
days, the government is like a corporation now. It's not a
Yes,
government,
I've heard that
it's a
too. I've
corporation.
heard that actually you're saying like a corporation. Nowadays, people are talking about government is a corporation.
Because back in the olden days, the king was a representative of God.
Yes.
And now king is weak compared to prime minister. Look at it. No way. If he
Yeah.
represented the God, he wouldn't do that when the what these days all the president, prime minister of the world they're doing in there. God,
Yeah.
like Krishna must be watching from the top what's happening on the planet. I
Yeah.
created that 900 million years ago, and
Yeah.
what we are doing. In
Yeah. Actually, recently I was reading in the Bhagavatam. This was in the eighth canto, um, where it talks about all the universal rulers. Okay, so it talks about, you heard of the Manu, right? Manus.
Yes, Manu,
So
yes.
there are the different Manus. So it talks about the chronological order of all these Manu. Okay, so Manu is basically
Manu
he's
was before
Manu
Ishwar.
is man, isn't it?
yes, yes. So Manu is like the first, like Brahma's children, like So they came basically to create more and more people.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can say they were the
He's
progenitor.
got 4 sons. Is he?
Who?
The Manu, I think they are 4. They are to exist that to be, and one of them get to change his mind. Now I'm gonna be like a sannyasi, not doing that because I heard that somewhere.
No, you are. I think you are. No. So Brahma had those. Are you talking about the four Kumaras?
Yes, 4
No.
Kumar.
So they are just young boys. They were just 5 year olds. Yeah. So no, but they were also sons of Brahma. But Brahma had many children, right?
Oh,
So,
it's 1 hour, 1 hour thing, Mataji. I think we
but
can
oh, is
disconnect
it?
soon. Deepa, what happened in 1 hour? Remember?
Oh, okay.
Again, no worries. Whenever disconnect, you have to reconnect again. That's okay.
Okay. So no, Brahma had many children. So the first were those four Kumaras who decided they wanted to be sannyasis. So Brahma was very upset. So anyway, no, but then he had these Manus. So there was the first one was Swayambhuva Manu, and then there was Chakshusha Manu. Then I think the Manu who's ruling the current Yuga. He is Vaivatsa Manu. Vaivatsamanu. Yeah, Vaivatsamanu. So actually, there is a prayer. I remember my father used to chant this when they do their Shraddha ceremony or whatever. My father would chant some prayers, and one of the prayers actually talk about where this prayer is happening. So it actually talks about like in the Jambu Dvipa, in the Bharata Varsha, under the rule of Vaivatsamanu. All this comes in that, so when and then when you like earlier as a child, I've been hearing this for so many years. So earlier, of course, it didn't ever made sense, but after reading in the Bhagavatam all these things, then it makes so much sense. Yeah, that's true. We are living in Bharata Varsha, in the which is in the Jambu Dvipa. There's an island. That's the name of the island in the universe. So that's where this planet is located. And it's under the reign of Vaivatsamanu, so the person who's ruling this time period. So like that. But having spoken about this, why was I bringing up Manu though? um, so Manu, they are like the original leaders. So their whole this thing was to think of the welfare only of the people, so that people can be God conscious. So these people were all, even the later kings and so on and so forth, up to when Kali Yuga started coming up. I mean, the yugas pass, right? So every Kali Yuga, obviously, things are going to go downhill. So, so then you have these saintly kings who are ruling, means the people are also saintly. So
Yeah,
then they're
that's where our prime minister is in India. He's very saintly. He goes to the temple. He just pushing that Hinduism and temples, and he did the corridor in Varanasi. I've been there. What a beautiful! It's like 800 crore to spend in there. Now he's thinking of doing next project, the Vrindavan. So he's more into that. He been to all the spiritual places, and then he was thinking like the what's the minister there? She said that we have to be at Bhagavad Gita in our schools as well.
schools. Mm,
So they
mm,
were they are God conscious and they're moving towards
mm.
there. But there's like a 35% of population is Muslim in India. So that's why
Yeah.
they don't say if you have to put the Gita, then you have to put the Quran as well.
Yes.
That's where the thing is. But I believe Gita has got nothing to do with the religion. It's just telling you that it's not. They're not forcing you to. You have to become Hindu. You have to do that.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
telling yada dharma se like Bhagwan Krishna. Like again,
Yes.
then if you say Bhagwan Krishna, then Muslim will get it.
Yes.
That kind
Yeah.
of things. Like that's
I
why
mean, this is the
Shobha
sad thing,
is called a
because the Bhagavad Gita is just
Sushma Swaraj.
understood as,
Her name was
yeah, a
Sushma
Hindu
Swaraj.
text.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Narendra Modi is pushing very for few of the
But
European
actually, if I can just interject, it's the Quran is also a like
the way of
teaching
life.
similar way of life.
That's right. Yeah.
And like how when I have conversations with Ben, I say, we can call God by any name, but God is
Yes.
one. It's
God
not
is one.
Yes.
Yeah,
multiple gods
yeah.
doesn't mean God anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
it's
and that's what I was going to say, that,
yeah.
unfortunately, even though Modi is pushing whatever he's pushing,
Yeah.
the point is that there is a little bit of the Mayavadi tendency in that.
Mm.
And also, it is not clearly aimed at who's,
Little bit, more than little bit.
yeah, more than little bit, because it's that Hindu philosophy.
Yeah.
And Hindu philosophy means many gods, because that understanding is very confused. Now, the thing is, the Vedas talk about many gods in the sense that they are demigods. They are
Mm.
not the supreme personality of God, Godhead, you
Yeah.
know. That's not, I mean, the Vedas talk about the supreme personality of Godhead also. However, people don't recognize that. And you're popular if you agree Oh yeah, Shiva is also supreme. Oh yeah, Durga is also supreme. Oh, you follow Ganesha? Okay, Ganesha is supreme. So everybody's happy, thinking the
They're
person
all
they are,
supreme.
yeah, the person that they are worshipping is the supreme. So, that means my philosophy is supreme, isn't it? It comes down to that. So ultimately, it's not thinking about actually there is one supreme personality of Godhead. His name is Krishna. He's got many, many names, but he's not Shiva, or he's not, I mean, of course, he is Shiva in a way, in the sense that just like how in the Brahma Samhita it is explained that how by adding a souring agent, the milk turns into yogurt. So similarly, when there is a contact with the material energy, then Shiva is there.
Hmm.
You know.
I think people in India, they are very simple people, and like if they go for any temple, either Durga, Shiva, or Ganesha, and then if they are request anything and then fulfill the request, and then they think they are the god.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then,
Yes.
but it's coming from Krishna through
Hmm.
Yes.
Ganesha and fulfill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they haven't reached all the way to Supreme
Yeah.
Personality of Godhead. They're stuck in there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
because they, and then if they go and ask in the temple, that means like they are like they're doing the business transaction. But the
Yes.
true devotee doesn't ask anything.
Yes. Yes.
So
And that's the thing. See, even though, like you said, Bhagavad Gita, I mean,
4 o'clock,
it's
you have
kind
to
of
disconnect and
considered.
connect again. Mataji, 4 o'clock.
Okay. Okay.
You have to disconnect and connect again. Deepa
Okay.
knows that.
Okay.